Hello, everyone, and it's my absolute honor to welcome all of you to this very special episode of The Big Leap. What started as an idea is now completing 50 episodes, and it's my absolute pleasure to be with you on this show today with three very distinguished MFDs from different parts of the country. All the three have featured in our earlier episodes, so we thought it's quite natural that we get them back and revisit the basic concept of Big Leap. Typically, it is being done by Mayuk, but today I was told to step in and I said, why should I lose this opportunity to be with such distinguished MFDs that are there today? We have Mr. Raunak, who started the first episode of The Big Leap. He represents Moneymatics and is from Mumbai. He's joined with Mr. Deepak from Mangaldeep. Deepak is from Bangalore and has been a very distinguished MFD in Bangalore for a long time. He featured with us on the 18th episode of The Big Leap. And Mr. Mudit Khanna of Insoft, Kolkata. Let me tell you, we started our Kolkata operations from Mudit's office when we started Mirae Asset in Kolkata. So special relationship with Mudit. And it's such an honor to be with the three of you. So welcome the three of you, and I hope to have a decent, meaningful chat on what is happening around us and what you feel about the industry and how you go about doing business. But just to start, Raunak, I'll start with you as to what do you think was on your mind when we first approached you for The Big Leap?
Yeah, hi Swarup. Swarup, this is actually when I have been approached by the Mirae first time. It was really a sense of belonging feeling immediately. See, from day one, I almost feel like family and my home in Mirae. So it's a great feeling when you got this kind of offer, and it is a really proud feeling overall and sense of belonging, no doubt about it.
No, I must say, when we started thinking about it, you starting the episode came naturally to us. Mudit, any views on the same question? What crossed your mind when we thought we'll do Big Leap with you?
It was a great feeling, Swarup sir, to get a call from Mirae for this. I felt it was a joint celebration kind of thing. I really appreciate Mirae for recognizing us for this Big Leap program. See, I'm really humbled for that. And I also appreciate the initiative which you guys have taken in this pandemic time. We come to know about this other MFDs, what they are doing, and sharing their thoughts. It's a real good initiative in the industry.
Oh, thank you. Deepak, I'll ask the same question to you. We go back a very long way, and I remember the day I was sitting in that same house of yours, sharing a cup of tea. What was your initial thought when we came and checked with you? Could you do an episode with us, please?
It was really great. I felt that I have done something different among other IFAs or other MFDs to be part of this event. Okay, and it's a nice place to share our past experience and for people to understand the tough times we have undergone.
Let's get a little serious about this whole thing because, a lot has changed in the last 6-8 months. I think when the pandemic broke out and we all shut down from our houses, we didn't realize that it would take so long. I think this has really been a learning for all of us from that perspective, not just pandemic, but from a broad change in regulation and everything that has happened. I'll start with you, Mudit. What do you think is the role of an MFD right now in the industry, and how do you think it will unfold in the next times to come?
So see, MFD, though the word is a very small one, though we mutual fund distributors, as the name goes, but I think we play a much bigger role in our investors' life. See, most of us are into distribution of different kinds of financial products along with MFs. So basically, though I think the managing of funds and organizing finances are our main job of a MFD, but I think we manage everything for our investors. See, whether it's the marriage, their child's future, helping them in financial windfall, their retirement planning, career advice, tax planning. We do lots of things for them. So that's a bigger role for us. In fact, even in our family, in case of any demise also, we are there to help them and do the planning for them. So now another thing like estate planning is also a very in thing which we have included. So the list that way goes a long one. And the most important thing is the what if scenario in an investor's life or a financial in their financial condition. So that is the most important thing, and we care for all those. So mutual fund distributor that way is like I think an integral part for them.
Correct, correct. Deepak, your thoughts on this?
Yeah. Actually, MFD role is not only about promoting mutual funds, and of course, in different financial products also. And MFDs generally become part of the family, part of investors' family. And basically, MFD's role, according to me, is to create awareness about mutual funds, to make them understand, meet prospective investors, make them understand about mutual funds, and why mutual funds have to be part of their portfolio along with other financial products. So you have several other financial products which compete with mutual funds. We have to make sure how mutual funds are way apart, way different from the other traditional savings what people have. And yeah,
Yeah,
and
wonderful.
we
Wonderful.
just need to give them various options available in mutual funds, make them understand how mutual funds suit every requirement of theirs. And of course, going by, we have to give them our MIS. We have to just share the MIS with them and handhold them during tough times.
Correct.
So I think that plays a very big role when it comes to an MFD, and we cannot track their returns. In fact, we just need to monitor their portfolios and give them regular updates on their investments and help them in completing their onboarding formalities.
Raunak, you've been practicing this for some time, and your clients are yours practically. What do you think is your role as an MFD in your client's life?
So I understand that most of the people in India have made money in real estate, whether it is land or in houses or flats, something like that. So people in India are completely underweight in financial savings, and even in financial savings, they are majorly into the bank FD. So I personally feel the biggest role as MFD in my case is that I am quite passionate about the financial products. So to penetrate the market for the mutual funds is the biggest role which MFD has to do. Even still, we are I think close to 5.5 to 6% of Indian household savings are into mutual funds. So way beyond, we need to reach out somewhere between 25 to 30%. So there is a long journey to be made.
Correct. I agree with you totally. I mean, the penetration is probably not there yet. From that perspective, it is always debated that, everything boils down to behavior, whether it's the advisor behavior, the MFD behavior, or the investor behavior. Money is made from behavior rather than anything. The question that comes up very naturally from my side to people who've been practicing this for such a long time, like all of you, is that, what is that one change that you would like to bring about in your investor behavior today? I'll start with Deepak.
Yeah, basically it is to control investors' emotions in tough times. That is where our big role comes, and make them understand that they need to stick to their decisions and requirements what they've given us at the time of investing.
Okay, great. Mudit, your views on this? One change that you'd like to see in your investors' behavior?
To some extent, I'll go with Mr. Deepak. It's patience. That is very important. See, an average investor uses his money and then comes to invest. See, a good investor invests his money and then uses the rest. So they should have a goal. And especially in the tough times like what we had in March or April, see, we should stick to our goals. Lot of investors got panicky. They came out, they redeemed. So they should have this goal in their mind, and patience they should have. That's the most important thing going forward.
Wow. Raunak, your views?
So one thing which I would like to see the change in my investors' behavior is that they should stop comparing mutual fund returns with the bank FD returns. They have to come out with that mindset that 100 cannot go down to 99 at any point of time. So a lot of clients get panicky when they see loss in their portfolio. So in spite of knowing everything, they just lose out of the patience, got panicky, and then book the loss, and then always start thinking that share bazaar to satta bazaar hai and mutual fund don't make returns. Plus, one more thing which I want investors to understand is that when they are putting their money into bank FD, they are paying tax at the highest level of their whatever they are putting into it. In mutual fund, the taxation there is a only 10% taxation in long term. So post-tax return, there is a big difference between what you are getting into FD and what you are getting into mutual funds. These people need to understand. But mutual fund returns will come with a volatility. So volatility, actually a friend of investor, if they are putting money at every level. But people don't want to see that 100 becomes 99 or 95. So that is the reason. So they need to understand that if they do asset allocation, then this problem will not arise.
So this transparency of the NAV coming out is actually sometimes a deterrent to the mutual fund. In other places, they would probably not know, but here, since they know, they are able to see it, right?
So
yes,
absolutely.
Like in March, there may be a lot of fall in the property prices also. But
correct.
most of the people don't even know that their property has fallen to that extent. So there was no panic for there. There was a panic in that because they are looking the price every day. So they should stop watching their portfolio on a daily basis.
I agree with you. Property prices in Mumbai are 15% less than what it was 6 years ago. But nobody goes and, raises an alarm. I completely agree. Yes. I mean, to sum up, these things are such virtues of, big virtues of investing. One is obviously being patient and holding on to your goals. The other one is keeping track of your emotions in tough times, and of course not to compare mutual funds with banks. If one investor were to put these three virtues together and invest, the investment experience would be very different. I completely agree with you from that perspective. And just to get to the other side of this whole thing, there is always a lot of talk of regulation in our business, and we are a regulated business, no doubt about it. So the question that I'd like to ask all of you is that if suppose you were the regulator for a day, what is that one change you'd like to see in our business? Who would like to go? I mean, Deepak, you?
SEBI has done a lot keeping
Correct.
investors in mind. And I don't think I am that lucky to be a regulator for a day. But if at all I am, then I would take that opportunity, and I shall make sure that the past performance and the star rating which is available on the respective online portals or websites be removed. Because this is creating unwanted confusion in people and the decisions they have made. So if the star ratings and past performance, anyway, past performance is not an indicator of future performance, but
Correct.
Still people try to track the past performance and take immediate decision and change their portfolios regularly. And the second, if I were to be given a second chance, then I would ask SEBI to introduce, or I, as part of SEBI, would like to introduce stiff exit loads to make sure that investors stick to their goals and investment objective.
Wonderful.
So generally, when you see your portfolio coming down by 5-10%, people get really worried and they tend to withdraw money. If there's a stiff exit load, it will actually stop them taking that unwanted decision. Okay, they can take these funds as a close-ended fund or a ELSS product, just to and we'll not stop them from redeeming. SEBI should allow them with a huge and a stiff exit load, so that people will stay invested and the fund managers will get a chance to actually perform and show their conviction on the respective stocks.
So you are saying exit load should be mandatory?
Yeah, exit load should be mandatory and for a long term.
Okay.
See, I'll just give an example. Liquid is a product where people choose for a 30-day period. So you need to have an exit load for a 30-day period. And if there's a hybrid fund, generally the time frame is 3 to 5 years. So why don't you have an exit load for 3 years? And an equity product is for a 5 to 10 year product. So why can't we have an exit load for 5 to 7 years?
Okay. Interesting. Raunak, your take on this? What would you want to bring one change if you were the regulator?
So if I have to be regulator, then first thing which I would like is that I would like to penetrate the industry in a big way, mutual fund industry, to reach out the new clients. So I would come out with the incentive for the mutual funds as well as MFDs to make new unique clients who have never into the mutual funds. Plus, I would always like to introduce, make the things quite friendly for the MFD. If you see, we hardly have 15 or 20,000, if I'm not wrong, active MFD in India right now. But compared to if you see the insurance agents, they are into lakhs.
Correct.
So because of this, there is a penetration, it is not going on. So if I have to be there, then I will relax regulation a little bit and make MFD work in a much friendly environment in there. They should not be fearful. Currently, everybody is quite fearful of the regulations.
Okay, fair. Penetration is the way to go. For Raunak, Mudit, your views, if you were to change one thing?
Sir, both of Raunak sir and Deepak sir have said very nice things. So what's in my mind, SEBI is gonna cancel my ARN if they see.
No. I think I must tell you something, Mudit, is that in this regulatory environment, discussion is so welcome. I as an individual have been able to go and talk to them a number of times, and I don't think it is where there is a against or for. It's a great discussion sort of environment. So whatever in your mind is okay.
Very good views have been shared by both of them. Well, I will rather see if मेरे को अगर chance मिलेगा कि नहीं, but still if I get one, I will remove this direct thing at least for the equity funds, if not for the liquid thing. See, it's my experience. I've seen a lot of clients, investors, they are going to direct mode without knowing anything. As Mr. Deepak shared, they just see the past performance. They invest through direct mode. They invest at the wrong time. They come out as well at the wrong time. Because there is nobody to guide them. If it's done through a MFD, at least we can guide them, even when they can't go for redemptions and all. So I think the industry figures also show there are maximum cancellations of SIPs or redemptions in the direct mode compared to the distribution model. So that's the reason. And one more thing I would like as a regulator to do, whatever changes, regulations, it's all good for the industry, for investors, we all agree. But whatever they do, they should stick to that at least for a considerable period of time. Okay. Every second day, every second month, some new regulation, that's a pain for everybody. At least 2-3 साल तक करने के बाद you stick to that. Okay. Whichever.
जो regulation हो रहे.
कुछ दिन चले, then you see. No point changing in so frequently.
Okay, interesting. Very, very, very interesting thoughts. I thought, that's the beauty of talking to such pedigreed people like all of you. But see, the beauty of India is in its diversity, lies its uniqueness. And when you look at people across the country, sometimes it's a wonder that such diverse people form one country, right? I mean, the people I have had the great fortune of working in Calcutta, Delhi, and now in Mumbai. Unfortunately, I've not worked in South, but I go to Bangalore quite often to see the difference in people there. So just let's reflect on the investors a bit and see how between the three of you, you think if from a psychology perspective or approach perspective, are people different across the country when it comes to investing? Because the people of East, Bangalore, say Mumbai, are very, very different people, culturally. And I'd like to pick your brains on that. So Deepak, do you think there's a distinct difference in the way a Bangalorean approaches investment? Do you think it's different?
There's a lot of difference. South is basically a highly knowledgeable and mature market. And people don't have a huge expectation on return, but they want a stable return, and they like funds which are basically very consistent in both bad times and good times, and they're okay with a low return, and they don't like to do too much of active management.
Okay. Wow. That's fantastic. A dream for a distributor, I think. Yeah. Is that so in Calcutta, Mudit?
I think Calcutta is also close to South.
Yeah.
We have more of a conservative kind of investors here. It's like, though we are having investors pan-India as well as abroad, but since our base is in Calcutta, we have maximum investors here. So still we find they are very comfortable in FDs, even at this lower rate of interest. So as you know, during the lockdown times, we did substantial amount of FDs.
Correct.
So I think it's in South and East are very close, I believe. Here also people are very knowledgeable, educated, and they are happy with an average kind of returns more, and rather fixed return products they are more inclined to do.
Correct. Mudit, I don't know if you remember, but I started my career in Calcutta selling fixed deposits.
Yeah.
And those were unbelievable days. The kind of franchise which fixed return has in Calcutta is unbelievable. And it's
in
evident.
Fact, Swarup sir, we have much higher AUM in FDs than MFs as on day.
Just think of it,
Yes.
So that's very different to what a Bangalorean is. A very different investor, a very savvy, flexible investor, and knows what it is. I don't think is into fixed income anymore. I mean, fixed deposits anymore.
Such, yeah.
Yes. Very, very interesting point you make about Calcutta. Reminded me of my days there, and I can never forget them. Raunak, your views of the Mumbai guy?
Sir, Mumbai is quite a professional city.
Yes.
Because of the corporate world, basic offices, so Mumbai is very, very professional. People here are divided into traditional thinking and the professional world. So professional worlds are definitely very, very stable, particularly the salaried class and all that. So they are on a regular investor, and to be very honest, they are very, very savvy investors. So Mumbai has that, it's better to deal with Mumbai investors, very, very easy.
No, I think whenever I have met people in Mumbai, they are open to different ideas. I don't think they come with any fixed things. And the good part of good or bad, I'm not commenting, but they are open to investing in new instruments and all that. So probably a broader portfolio you might see from a Mumbai investor. Though I would also say that the Bangalore investor is also very broad in her approach. But yeah, a unique thing which Mudit pointed out is the fixed income or the fixed deposit thing still remains a big flavor in the East. Speaks of the insurance penetration in the East also. I mean, it's huge there, and I think resonates to the psyche of the investor. Very, very, very interesting feedback from different parts of investors. But then, when you bring it back to the broad business and you look at how things are evolving now, when you look at now continuing, all of you are such successful MFDs, and you build such successful business platform for yourself. The next 10 years obviously will be very different from the past 10 years. Like Deepak said, you shouldn't go by past performance. Similarly, one shouldn't go by past performance of the business also. You think, what are your views on the way forward when you look at continuing this incredible journey of wealth creation for your investors, and any feedback to, say, industry mates that you have. Raunak, I'll start this one with you.
So I am always very, very passionate about equities since my age of 17, 18. And with my 32 years of experience, I have seen all the ups and downs of stock market since the basic sensex of 600. So I personally feel that people tend to follow the MFD distributor and don't panic unnecessarily, don't too proactively track their portfolio, and don't react to every situation in the world. And there are a lot of money to be made in the years to come, and financial savings, everybody is underweight in financial savings. So a lot of things needs to be done, and I think this wealth creation journey will definitely continue. I am so very sure about it.
Wonderful.
This is just the beginning of that wealth creation journey.
I do agree on that. Deepak, your views on how do you want to approach the next decade of your business?
Yeah, mutual funds have grown in size from 1 lakh crores when I started to the current 27 lakh crores in the last 20 years, and it is heading towards the 100 lakh crore mark. And the mutual fund industry growth is inevitable. It will definitely grow. And what I would like to say investors is they need to have patience if they have to really create wealth, and they have to trust the fund manager and make sure that their respective MFDs have given them the right product of their choice, and to make sure that they stick to the time frame what they have mentioned.
Wonderful, wonderful. Mudit, how will you approach the next decade?
Sir, there is one very simple basic formula for building wealth. Make more money than what you are spending. Now, making money will come either from your salary, business, incomes, or investments. So you have to be prudent where your investments are concerned. One should avoid debt. That is the biggest trap which I have seen many investors falling to. So, and long-term wealth creation is very important. You should have your budget, invest more for your rosy days. Retirement planning is very important. So, and most important thing, one should take help of whomsoever, whether RIA or MFD, rather, because see, what I understand, in one transaction, if you get the right advice, whatever you save or you earn, whether it's a up market or down market, whichever it goes, so you make more money than whatever you spend on all your expenses on your entire term. So one should take help of MFD or IFA or RIA, whatever name you'd like to give to, and stick to your goals, invest prudently. That's the main thing going forward.
Perfect, perfect. Really, this has been such a learning experience for me, the three of you. Thank you so much on behalf of Mirae Asset. We'd like to thank the three of you for coming back and doing this special episode for us, and wish you great wealth creation in your journey going forward. And thank you for being so special to us at Mirae Asset. And this has been the 50th episode. And thank you again for coming back and doing this for us. It is very special for us. Really appreciate.
Thanks to you also, Swarup sir. It's always a great pleasure talking to you. And we are very close to Mirae from day one, as you know, in Calcutta.
Correct, correct. Thank you. Thank you, Deepak.
Thank you,
Thank you, Raunak. Thank you, Mudit. Really appreciate. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.